Hey, what's going on? Strolling with me, Todd.
And Tara. Today we're at the Codorus furnace.
All right, here is the Codorus furnace. It is a historic 18th century iron furnace in York County, Pennsylvania. It was built in 1765, known for producing cannonballs for the Revolutionary War of 1812. It was once owned by James Smith. He was a signer of the Declaration of Independence and is the oldest surviving landmark of the region's iron industry. Now maintained by the Conservation Society of York County. The site features the original stone structure. We're going to go up here to the hard hat area. So they've blocked this off. There's nothing really there to see, but you can see this is extremely tall. Can't really see anything there. I did not bring a flashlight. But see the ferns growing off to the side there. Pretty see how they have these, just like these pins and stuff, hold this all together. It's pretty crazy how you got stuff like this that still stands from way back in the 1700s, and today we have trouble. You can see a little bit in there, not much, and today we have trouble trying to build one house. So we're going to head up top here and take a look. All right, this is the second time I was here today. And today is, April, what's the date? April 22nd. Today is April 22nd. Sorry about that. I want to try to start saying when I record my videos. I have a bad habit of not doing that. So this is the second time I was here. I was here with just me and the boy, and I couldn't really film anything because he was way too excited. You can see the metal rim that goes around. Ferns are really cool. Here's a perspective of how tall this is. We're not down there right now. We're up here still. But yeah, it's really tall. Massive. So she was just telling me, because she enjoys reading stuff. I don't really read too much stuff. I just like to guess, and I probably should read stuff before I make a video, but it's the fun of just guessing what they used it for and stuff like that. But you said that there was a water wheel here?
Yeah.
So there was a water wheel here somewhere. I don't know if it was on this side or that side maybe. I'm not really sure where it was at. It could have been up top because there is a building that was up top. So let's get up here. Here's these steps here. I'm gonna take him and all right, I had to help her up also. So here's Freddy. Say hello to Freddy. It says, do not feed Freddy and do not move Freddy. And then there's another little baby Jesus. So we are up pretty tall. Tree's sort of in the way, but All right, so up this way, I believe, I was reading a little bit about this, but not too much. And then I end up forgetting what I read sometimes. But I believe there was a coal thing. I believe there was like a coal building or something up here. So there's remnants of a wall and stuff that goes the whole way around. Most of it fell down. And we'll go over to this side over here. You see part of the wall and stuff. Pretty cool. I'm not going to go too much further because I don't feel like going up in there. It's pretty thick up through there. But this, I believe this was like a coal building or something, it said. But we'll read the plaque when we get down at the bottom. Something sort of interesting here. This vine that comes down made a step, and then also over here there's a, looks like a fence post with barbed wire. You can see it right there, grown into the tree. Sort of pretty cool. We're going to go over on this other side real quick and see what's over here. I don't think there's too much anything. I believe it's probably really thick. Sorry, I gotta walk into a cobweb. Yeah, it's just same thing, real thick stuff. Lots of cobwebs. You can see the wall fell over on this side also, so. But not too bad. Nothing like getting a face full of cobwebs. So let's go down here and walk past Freddy. Do you like Freddy?
No, I do not like Freddy.
Freddy gives you the creeps?
Freddy's creepy.
She said Freddy's creepy. I think Freddy and him are relatives. Are you and Freddy relatives? Here's a nice shot of this here. I'll zoom in so you can see a little bit closer. This thing is just extremely tall. Let's get over here and read what this has to say now. There's going to be some road noise, so I want to apologize to you. But we'll go ahead and see what we can do.
Filling or burning an iron smelting furnace from the top was like making a striped layered cake. Alternate layers of charcoal, ore, and limestone were poured through a hole in the top of a furnace and ignited to form a blast of intense heat. Through the use of bellows, air was forced through the furnace to reach the 3,000 degrees needed to melt iron. The bellows were operated by an overshot water wheel powered by Codorus Creek. Liquid iron percolated to the bottom of the furnace to be drained or ladled from a hearth into molds formed in sand located in a special casting building attached to the bottom of the furnace. Some molds look like a sow nursing pigs, hence the name pig iron.
So looking at this picture, I keep hearing birds. I was trying to figure out what the sound was. So looking at this picture here, sorry about that. This looks like the water wheel looks like it was on the side over here. Possibly. Unless it was on the front. But there was also that bridge that went across. And the bridge looks like it was up there on that hill. So it went across up top. Went from there up. So that's why we were thinking the water wheel was like out here somewhere. Possibly. Could be wrong though. Because there are remnants of the stone and the rocks where it would be like a water wheel, and it's sort of cut out for that. So this looks like where it would be at, because it's sort of cut out like that.
Casting pig iron seemed to be the primary purpose of early iron furnaces, which could also produce a wide range of other products such as pots, kettles, fireplace backs, stoves, machinery for farming, and cannons and cannonballs or shot for making war. Many workers were needed to operate a successful iron furnace. Woodsmen and colliers were needed to produce the more than 600 bushels of charcoal needed every day for the furnace. Molders were needed to create the final products out of the molten iron. Teamsters were essential for the hauling of iron ore, limestone, charcoal, and the finished iron products. Feeding the workers, tending the livestock, repairing wagons, building stone walls, these were just a few of the routine jobs that required over 60 men and women to be regularly employed at Cadora's furnace. The length of time a furnace was in blast did not usually exceed 9 months. Some occasionally ran from 12 to 18 months at a stretch. Periodically, furnaces had to be relined or entirely rebuilt.
All right, here's a little bit of interesting facts about this also.
Vast quantities of pig iron bars and blooms were made. Most of the ore came from the Chestnut Hill mines in Lancaster and was towed across the river in flat boats. In many cases, the manufactured iron was loaded on shallops and sent to Baltimore or Philadelphia. The Cadora's forge and furnace were sometimes called the Hellam Forge or the Hellam Iron Works. The forge was in operation from 1765 to 1850. The furnace was in operation from 1837 to 1850. Here, cannon and shot were produced for Washington's army during the Revolutionary War. The Hellam Hills contained large quantities of quartz, which was processed in a flint mill just prior to 1884. The flood of 1884 washed away the hills, and the commercial flint operation ceased at this time.
I'm going to walk over so you get a perspective of how tall this is. So hopefully you can see me and how tall this here is. All right, I want to thank you for joining us at the Cadora's furnace.
It's a really cool place to visit.
Yeah, it is a really cool place to visit. I hope you had a good time. Hope everything was interesting to you. Thanks again, and we will catch you on the next one, my friend. Have a great day.
Bye.
You want to say bye? Say bye.